Hello YouTube, Vlogineerix Rans here, and this week my video is about two tweets that Gard Saad made in response to the latest Islamic terrorist attack, this time in London. I want to thank the outspoken realist for the video idea and for guiding part of this video. So, with that all out of the way, let's begin. So let's start out with the first tweet. Quote, "I ask again, when will the West wake up? When will decent people no longer accept the terror that is inflicted upon us around the world?" So as to the first question of when will the West wake up? Well, considering that in the last 15 years or so there have been Islamic terrorist attacks in Belgium, France, Germany, Spain, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Canada and Australia, just to name 8, I think the West is already well awake to the threat posed by Islamic extremism and terrorism. Belgium had the bombing that killed 35 people. France, of course, had the Nice attack and the attack that killed 130 people in Paris. Germany's had attacks, Canada's had attacks, Australia's had attacks, including, although this wasn't on Australian soil, the Bali bombings, which killed 88 Australians as part of the 202 that were killed overall. I think there's one I'm missing. Oh yeah, 9/11, you stupid piece of shit! The West is already pretty woke to the threat posed by Islamic terrorism, and that makes the first part of this first tweet meaningless virtue signalling to the alt-right, the far-right, and the alt-right. Now to the second part of the first tweet. Quote, "When will decent people no longer accept the terror that is inflicted upon us around the world?" End quote. Well, we don't accept the terror that is inflicted upon us around the world. Why do you think the US is bombing 7 countries in the Middle East right now and has intervened in 3 of them? Iraq, Afghanistan and Syria. Yeah, we're kinda doing something about that. Borders are closed in many areas of Europe. The US is violating its constitution to reduce Muslim immigration further than it already has. And Australia is outright breaking international law stopping refugees getting in. And there's raids all the time in Europe, the US and Australia. Yeah, we're not accepting of this. Also, why do you think hate crimes have shot up, especially against people who look like they're from the Middle East? It's a result of these attacks. So what do? Well, I have a video coming next Friday about a possible solution to TJ Kirk's The Islam Paradox, so stay tuned for that. But what do we do as decent people, Gad? Turn into racist arseholes that persecute anybody who look like a Muslim? Because, newsflash, it's not just Muslim women who dress like that. Hindu women wear very similar garb, and there's only one tiny thing on the forehead that can be used to differentiate between Muslim females and Hindu females. And it's even worse when it comes to male Hindus and Muslims, because you got other groups that have dark skin thrown in there as well. And for the record, nobody wants to be stabbed in a train, run over by a car or truck, gunned down by a terrorist, or blown into 1,000 pieces. We don't accept it, and to say that we do makes you a douchebag, little better than the people you rally against. And yet, he's held up as an intellectual elite, but he thinks that the West is perfectly okay with Muslims attacking us. White people commit the most mass shootings, Muslims commit the most terrorist attacks, at least in Europe, the Middle East and North Africa. Black people in the US commit the most murders, rich people commit the most fraud. By your logic, we should condemn everybody in that group of people because a few of them commit crimes. And for the record, everybody has more than one demographic in origin. Don't condemn every single member of a group because a few assholes are committing crimes. Yes, there are a troubling number of Muslims who believe some horrible things, but we're doing everything we can about that problem, and posting this tweet isn't going to help. Now on to your second tweet. Quote, "When will people shed the shackles of political correctness? When will we no longer afford tolerance to the criminally intolerant?" I don't know about Europe, but the US and Australia are already doing that. The vetting process to get into the US is extremely rigorous, and Australia, again, is outright breaking international law with their refugee policy. With support from both sides of the politics, by the way. Both the Liberals, the Conservative right in Australia, and the Labour Party, the centrist party in Australia. And whenever a Muslim jihadist commits a terrorist attack in the US, the right-wingers always go, "Ban all Muslims, kick them all out and drop even more bombs on Muslim countries." Gard Saad, these two tweets are bullshit and help exemplify the problem with the classical liberals who are really a mix of alt-righters and their apologists today. So, that is my video for this week. I hope you found it interesting. Please rate, comment, share and subscribe, and have a great day everyone, and I'll be starting on the cards thing soon. See how that goes.